this webinar is hosted by HDFC Credila. So any educational loan, any concern about the educational loans, you can just consult HDFC Credila. They have a home service also. They'll come to your home, sit with you, talk to you, advise you briefly on the educational loans. So well, now coming to the session part. The session is named as like, which one to choose, IELTS, PTE or TOEFL. So before exactly going into the session, we'll just watch one simple video. So this IELTS, PTE, TOEFL is all about abroad education and choosing the best career. So we shall just understand a career point from the Indian perspective. It's just a funny video, but we'll just get some idea how to go, but just watch this video, okay? Now coming to the webinar. So from this video, I just wanted to only make one point, okay? That is the income matters. So income matters. Choosing the career wisely. Well, I'm not deviating. Just trying coming to the point. You may be wondering what this talk about IELTS something like. So basically, why IELTS, why PTE, why TOEFL in sense. So to take you to the abroad education or to get you admitted into the abroad universities. This is the kind of entry ticket. So entry ticket really matters. Such a big exhibition, you don't have entry ticket, you are out of the exhibition, not inside the exhibition. So in the same manner, so this IELTS, PTE as well as TOEFL, these three are entry tickets. So now which one to choose first, like IELTS or PTE or TOEFL, something like that. So initially we'll just understand these 3 points, can be divided into 3 categories. One is country wise, purpose wise, and difficulty wise. So IELTS, PTE or TOEFL, like which country you want to go, it's based on that. Which country is TOEFL, which country is PTE, which country is IELTS. Most of you are wondering IELTS is throughout the world, something like that. And some of the people are wondering TOEFL is very hard exam. And so like you have all prejudices in your mind from your friends and other people who has already given the test. So first thing we should understand from the country wise. All right, if you look at we'll just see this picture. Or we'll just try and understand from the web directly itself, okay? We will initially just get to the IELTS product. See, IELTS, the product IELTS is developed by the Cambridge people. See, these people are in the market since 1913. 1913, 2013, so almost a century, or sorry, more than a century. So the most senior is the IELTS product. That's why the whole world knows about IELTS. Now coming to the TOEFL. TOEFL is developed by ETS, and ETS will see, yeah, ETS 70-year-old legacy. So they're also almost near a century, 100 years old. And Pearson, we shall see. Pearson, you see that? Pearson awarded government commercial agreements to provide test of English people. December 16, 2019, just an year-old product. All right, here also you can see 2019, 10 AM, London, December 16. PTE, this is about the PTE product. So now, so we can easily understand now IELTS versus TOEFL versus PTE. So IELTS is the most senior product in the market, TOEFL second most, and PTE is very junior. So no, that's fine. Now we shall understand the test thoroughly from the country point of view. Okay. Again, we'll just try and see Ielts. See, Ielts part of University Cambridge. Cambridge, UK, I tell you. Okay, Cambridge is the property of UK. You see that exams for visas and immigration in the UK. So this product belongs to UK, British, that is London government. So primarily this product has got hold in that particular country. UK, it is, and the UK countries, you know, Scotland, England, London, Ireland, and mostly New Zealand also. So these countries thoroughly accept the Ielts. Now, because of the seniority of the product, you see that because of this seniority of the product, these people have propagated this product throughout the world. You know, this is like just like Microsoft comparing with the Apple software, Apple OS. See, Microsoft is into the market first, and Apple is secondary. So by the time Apple is trying to get into the and penetrate into the market, Microsoft has already took a kind of a round circle in the whole world. So whole world knows MS Office, MS Windows, and everything. Just like that, whole world knows what is Ielts. So now, if you want to go to any country, you can choose Ielts as a first priority. Based on your access, you have access to Ielts, TOEFL, PTE. We shall see that particular thing. So Ielts is primarily the product of UK, British government, and the English, what is used in Ielts test is totally British English. And most accents will vary. Accents, Canadian, Australian, American, it will be included in the test. That is not an issue. But English will be 99% or 100%. It is British English only. So because of the seniority, this Ielts product is spread into most of the majority of the globe. And we'll come to the ETS part. ETS is a 70-year-old legacy, and ETS belongs to Educational Testing Services, belongs to, this belongs to US, America. And this is a non-profit organization. So if you want to purely step into America, so better go for TOEFL. Absolutely, there's no problem in this. So this is a primarily American product. If you want to choose any other country apart from America and still you want to write TOEFL, if you have chosen a university in Australia and you want to write a TOEFL test, so you are supposed to check whether that particular university accepts TOEFL or not. But if you look at the picture, just a minute. Yeah, look at this picture. Academic reach, TOEFL accepted in 130 countries by 9,000 institutions. Whereas if you look at Ielts, it is 6,000 plus only. Despite the seniority, you see that TOEFL is dominating its institutions. So well, that's about TOEFL is a US product, Ielts is a UK product, and PTE is also a UK product only. This is the PSN, you see this UK. So PTE is also a UK product and very junior one. So from country wise, see, if you want to go to US, choose TOEFL, and if you want to go to only UK, Australia, London, New Zealand, and choose PTE for that thing. Any other country, if you want to go, like you can go for Ielts or any test. And if you are very specific about one particular university, again I'm telling you, if you're very specific about one particular university, you're supposed to check that requirements of the university. Without checking the requirements of the university and you're given a TOEFL test or you're given an Ielts test, and if the university says we don't accept Ielts, TOEFL, you're supposed to write PTE, then you will be at loss. So if you're targeting only specific university, understand the university requirements, Ielts, PTE or TOEFL, then go for the test. So that is from the country wise. Simply to wrap up, country wise, PTE and Ielts belongs to UK, British. If you're targeting those countries, go for this PTE or Ielts. If you're targeting US, go for a TOEFL. That is country wise. And purpose wise, Purpose, only two purposes. One is academics, if you want to study, and second one is immigration, if you want to work. So yeah, if you want to work, if you want to see this immigration, but if you want to work in Australia or UK countries, you see this versions. PTE has got general and academic has also got general. So there's no general as such here. Paper based on Indian work purpose. US doesn't accept or is not concerned about PTE or TOEFL or anything. US is concerned about two ways. For H1B visa, you don't require this test if at all your client asks you. And if you want to work in US, one is apply for a work visa, get the visa done. The second one is any company in the US invites you. The company in the US invites you will get directly placed in that company. No need to write any of these tests. But if you want to get into UK or Canada or Australia for work purpose also, you're supposed to write Ielts or PTE. So Ielts general is there. Versions you're supposed to write a general, you're supposed to write for the work purpose, PT general, and even Ielts also for the Ielts general also for the work purpose. And if you want to get into healthcare exclusively, there is a OET test, occupational English training. That's also English test. You're supposed to write for these countries only. And now that's the purpose wise. So purpose wise, academic test for the study wise, study purpose, general test for the work purpose. And PTE, Ielts also got IELTS UK VI for the work purpose. UK visas immigration, the test itself says. Sometimes they may exclusively ask this particular test to write, apart from Ielts general test. And even PT is also going to introduce, in this month 18th, PTE UK VI, UK visas immigration. IELTS UK VI is there. Now June 18th, PT is going to introduce UK VI test. You can take any of this test for the UK visas immigration only. That's about the purpose. And coming to the difficulty wise, see, this is very, very, very important. Difficulty wise, well, let's check some of the things here. We'll see the scorecard here. See, PT academic 90, out of which 60 to 70 is the cutoff. IELTS, so 9 bands, out of which 6 or 6 point is the cutoff. TOEFL IBT 120, out of which 80 is the cutoff, or 90 to 100 is the best one. So TOEFL out of 120, 90 to 100 I suggest. IELTS out of 9, 6 to 6.5 I suggest. PTE out of 90 I suggest. Anything 60 plus would be better. And again, this cutoff varies from institution. Some institutions may want only 6, some may demand 7. In PT, some institutions may want only 55 or 50 also, but some institutions may demand 60 plus. PT for work wise, 75 plus is needed. So just like that, based on the institution, you're supposed to check what is that institution really accepting. But overall, I said 60 plus, 6 plus, and 90 plus. That is the general cutoff for the thing. And yeah, we shall see the difficulty wise. Pearson, TOEFL, and IELTS difficulty wise. We shall understand which test is difficult. I understand. Now you have to put your ears up. Which test is difficult and which test is easier. So now, based on the questions, you see that you may find the test difficult or easier. See, now coming to the module wise, English test, test of English. This is also test of English. This is also English language test. All right. Pearson test of English, test of English as a foreign language, international English language testing system. So in all these things, the only common thing is English, English, English. So these three people, they divided the test into 4 modules: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking, I'm telling you, okay? So again, in these 3 things, see, IELTS is the paper-based test. Also, computer-based test is there. TOEFL, also you have paper-based as well as computer-based. PSN only computer-based. So initially, I'll share my experience as a faculty or a director of training. I'll share which is the test that is, simpler or easier. So now, yeah. Now, based on the types of questions in speaking, listening, reading, as well as writing. Say in IELTS, the listening module, the questions will vary. There are a lot of questions, Say for example, fill in the blanks is there, multiple choice and everything that's there. Multiple choice and match the following, all the other questions. So they are dividing the questions into many categories. So for every question, you're supposed to again tune your mind, change your mind, change the strategy, and be ready with the strategy. Fill in the blanks, different strategy. Multiple choice, different strategy. Match the following, different strategy. So like that, you're supposed to keep on tuning your mind from question to question. Whereas in PSN also the same thing. There are many questions like multiple choice there, and multiple choice, again they categorize that multiple choice, and dictation and other ways of question in PSN. But TOEFL, when coming to TOEFL, I have seen listening and reading, there's only one thing. Whole questions in listening form as well as reading module, they have only multiple choice. They have only multiple choice questions. So in listening and reading module in the TOEFL, only multiple choice. See why I'm stressing only on multiple choice. So for example, in IELTS, you have fill in the blanks in say listening module. You have fill in the blanks in the listening module. So for example, you have missed the fill in the blank. If you miss the fill in the blank in IELTS, you don't have the luxury to raise your hand and can you please rewind the audio? Can you please pause the audio? Or can you just do? You don't have this luxury at all. If you once miss the blank, that is gone. All right. And in the blanks, you don't have strategies, multiple choice kind of stuff. Multiple choice question is totally different again. So you have table blanks, sentence blanks, paragraph blanks, 3 kinds of blanks, and mapping, labeling also is a kind of blanks there. So there are many choices of blanks. You may miss blanks. Definitely you'll miss blank because of some accent and other things. You don't have a luxury of marking those blanks again at all. But whereas in TOEFL, every question is multiple choice. Even though you miss the audio, multiple choice, there is an option 1, 2, 3, 4. So your answer is there in the multiple choice. At least based on the understanding of the audio, which topic it is, which context I've heard the audio. So based on understanding, simple, so you can at least, even though if you miss the questions in multiple choice, you can guess some answer wisely, not by coining and putting like that. So based on understanding of the context of the topic, you can at least pick up one option in the TOEFL part. And the greatest part of the TOEFL is whole listening module, whole reading module is fully multiple choice. Whole of the module, see that? So that's the greatest part of the TOEFL thing. And coming to PTE and IELTS, the listening module. In IELTS, it is divided into 4 sections. In 4 sections, one section may be very easy, other section may be tough. So it will be varying like. And coming to Pearson speaking part, there are a lot of questions in the Pearson speaking part. Speaking part is the lengthiest one when compared to the IELTS speaking part. IELTS speaking part is only 15 minutes of interview, personal interview, whereas Pearson test of English speaking goes around, say, 30 to 35 minutes. You're supposed to speak a lot, speak a lot. It's not a face-to-face interview though. You're supposed to speak a lot, speak. And TOEFL English is also kind of speaking only. And one more drawback of IELTS I'll tell you here. In IELTS, in the interview, in the face-to-face interview, unless you don't put an accent, you cannot impress the interviewer or something like that. Or unless you don't sound some accent, you're sounding plain English, it may or you're a bit far to impress the interviewer. Even though you speak English, correct English, grammatically, everything correct, but you don't have that English in your, charisma, we call it, as your mother tongue is Telugu or Hindi or something like that. If you display any MTI skills in IELTS, there's a mother tongue influence in the English in IELTS, there's a lot of chance that your score may come down. And it may even disappoint the interviewer also in IELTS. And I've seen this happening majorly in India especially. I've seen most of the interviewers, you're supposed to impress them. Unless they are impressed, they're not going to throw you marks at all. So that is a drawback of IELTS I have seen. And if you come to the same thing, Pearson test of English as well as TOEFL, you don't need accent there at all. See, the machine is recording you when it comes to Pearson as well as ETS. In PTE and TOEFL, the machine, the computer is recording your voice. All you need to do is clear and easily understandable accent is enough for you. Not an American accent, or you don't need to put an accent at all. You only need an accent for TOEFL and PTE, which is easily understandable by the machine. So if you speak clearly in TOEFL and PTE, that is enough. PTE understands your language accent, that's enough. TOEFL understands your accent, that's enough. But whereas IELTS, it's a different story altogether. So well, that's about the machine advantages. And in IELTS, when it comes to paper-based test, though it is easy, paper-based test, see the manual evaluator, the manual evaluation, they don't go by word-to-word evaluation. Right? In the essay, you wrote some example, 250 words plus. In IELTS, I'm talking about. The evaluator doesn't go word by word or sentence by sentence and give you marks in. They'll read few lines here, and it's called sampling. The sample few lines, sentences, few words, and get an understanding of your English. And they'll give you overall score. So for example, they're supposed to correct 1,000 papers. First few papers, they might do it very thoroughly with interest and everything. And after that, it starts. So this is a kind of drawback in the paper-based test. But still, if you're able to impress the evaluated writing part in the first few lines itself, in writing part, then the job is perfectly done. Or for the funniest part, if your handwriting is very excellent in writing paper-based test, the evaluator or the examiner may easily look at your handwriting, wow, and they may go right away for your score. I have got some experience like this. So well, and one of the negative part in the IELTS, what I have seen is many of the times it happens with my students only. If you're at the verge of getting full score in reading, full score in listening part, and even in writing and speaking, if you're supposed to get full score, they may, or like most of the time, they hold the scores. They hold the scores of the students. At least for 1 month, they hold the score, and they give a kind of unreasonable justification email for such things as a part of some scrutiny, or we are holding the scores. What scrutiny, what reason? They don't have any reason at all. See, I'm not promoting or demoting IELTS here. I am just giving you the facts about IELTS. So then what is the best part of the IELTS? So if you are trying to get the full score in the IELTS, I've seen most of the time they hold the scores and they give you normally 6 or 7, that's it, not like full score, very less I have seen. So what is the best part of the IELTS test? Then it's only paper based. You can comfortably write on the paper. That's the best part of the IELTS test. And coming to TOEFL, the whole listening and reading module are in multiple choice. So if your comprehension, English understanding skills are very good, you can go for a TOEFL. And coming to the Pearson test of English. So here, compared to the English language, so for example, in TOEFL, in reading, there are passages. In reading, there are few passages in TOEFL, reading 1, reading 2, reading 3. The level of difficulty of the reading passages in TOEFL as well as IELTS are harder when compared to the level of difficulty of the PTE test. So again, you're supposed to note that point. Even though TOEFL has got all multiple choice, the level of difficulty of the passages a bit are harder when compared to PTE. Even the IELTS passages come harder when compared to the PTE part. So that's the difficulty-wise differences. So difficulty-wise differences, you can now easily understand. PTE is a bit easier, or if you put 1 to 3, easiest is PTE, second TOEFL, and you can say hardest is IELTS. I won't say hardest. You can do it by practice itself. But majority of the students go for IELTS because they've heard IELTS. So if you're going only for US, choose TOEFL. If you're going for UK or Australia or New Zealand, choose PTE. Any other country like Canada or any other country, choose IELTS. Or if your mind is wavering, which country, I'm not sure. So IELTS may be valid in all the countries. You can just choose IELTS. But if you're targeting any university, check the university requirements, whether the university is asking for IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. So that's about the test differences. So in IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, we have seen country-wise difference. Country-wise, US only, then TOEFL. Only UK, London, Australia, New Zealand go for PTE. Any other country, Canada or any other country, go for IELTS. Okay. And all the test scores are valid for 2 years maximum. IELTS got IELTS general. They have increased 3 years validity. So 2 plus 1 year they made it. General score IELTS for immigration, that is valid for 3 years. So well, that's about the test differences. Country wise, I've told you, and purpose wise, if you're going for a work purpose for US doesn't require any of these tests. For any other country, PSN, PTE, UKVI is introduced from June 18. IELTS general is there, IELTS UKVI is there. Both are only for UK. So you can choose any of this. So that's about country wise, purpose wise, as well as difficulty wise about these 3 tests. That's about our topic, which one to choose based on your English level and based on your availability, or based on your country, or based on your purpose. You can just select. I understand I've completed about this. The second topic ours is which consultancy to choose. So which consultancy to choose? Now for the visa processing especially, the first point, we may make note of it, the first point to choose the consultancy is the seniority level. How long is the consultancy in the market? At least 10 plus years, not 5 plus, or at least 10 plus years. See, my consultancy, Credo Visa Careers, is in the market for more than 20 years. and it has got all over India its branches. If anything happens, you will simply catch hold of the collar of the person and get back or get everything done. You can trust them. They're in the market for more than 20 years. They've got a lot of information in their mind. So based on the seniority, first thing, if you're approaching any visa consultancy, Google it. Google the seniority level of the consultancy. That is the first point. And the second point, is like, the consultancy, the supporting part of the consultancy. See, for example, you have no good documents, you have a lot of backlogs, and you don't have the certificates properly right. If any consultancy is still promising you, compulsory admission, don't trust them. Unless your documents are right. Without having the right documents, if the consultancy is promising you a compulsory admission to the other countries, kindly be away from those consultancies. Kindly be away from those consultancies. So that's not the trustworthy consultancy. So, and the consultancy, without knowing your background, without knowing your IELTS score, without knowing your academics, how much in 10th, 12th, as well as graduation, what is the percentage, what is your financial status, without knowing these requirements, if any consultant is telling you that and this, don't just those things. First, the consultancy should ask you, what is your background, where is your IELTS score, where is your GRE or GMAT score, or any other scores, like, based on that thing. First, the consultant should ask you the score, then they will do evaluation part, then they will tell you how to go about that thing. So without these things, if any consultancy is promising you, just come to us, we'll do anything and everything, don't trust those consultancies. All right, so these are 2 points. One is check the seniority of the consultancy. Second one, genuinity, like they're supposed to check all your documents, score, and they're supposed to evaluate your admission status. Then only they should come back to you. Okay, you can start processing with us. And until then, don't do anything or don't pay anything to the consultancies. So these 2 things are very, very, very important in choosing the consultancy. And also, third thing, try to check some YouTube videos on the consultancy. So my YouTube videos, in the sense, the videos not posted by the consultancy. I can post many videos of my consultancy, but if any news channel is posting my video, then that is the most trustworthy consultancy. My Credo visas we can check on the YouTube also. TV9 we have, and other news channels also we have our videos. You can check. So those consultants also you can trust them nicely. So these are 3 things how you're supposed to choose the consultant. First thing, how senior they are. Second thing, they should check your profile first, evaluate your profile, then only they should say you can start your visa with us, visa process with us. And if anyone is telling just start processing with us, we will take care everything, don't trust those consultancies. The third one, check in the YouTube news channels for that consultancy name, so that you can trust them based on the availability in the news and everything. So these 3 things you're supposed to keep in the mind. That's about the consultancy part. And yes, I think I'm done from my point of view.